Being a genius doesn't always come with a big, flashing neon sign. It's often revealed in subtle habits and quirks that might seem unusual to others. Let's explore these subtle indicators and highlight 9 signs that say you're actually a genius, even if no one realizes it. 1. You are curious all the time. You have an insatiable thirst for knowledge and understanding, haven't you? Well, geniuses are usually identified by their unending curiosity. While others might be satisfied with understanding things on the surface, a genius loves going into a rabbit hole and finding out every little detail. This is not because they want to show off or be a know-it-all. They simply need to know and understand things for their own satisfaction. Whether it's reading about many different topics, asking questions, or constantly looking for new experiences and perspectives, there's one thing that unites all geniuses. They find joy in the process of learning. So, here's the thing, if you often find yourself intrigued by the different things in life and the world at large, don't brush it off and think you are just being odd. You might just be feeding your inner genius in the best way possible, through constant curiosity and learning. 2. You tend to be a perfectionist. For example, when you were in high school, were you always trying to improve your projects a little more before turning them in? Were your classmates done and satisfied with their first or second draft, but you kept checking and rechecking to make sure you didn't miss anything? More than likely you didn't do this to show off, you were doing it because you couldn't get the project out of your head, and the thought that you could have done a better job. You couldn't settle for less than your best. You wanted something that was up to your own standards, even if that meant spending more time working than the rest of your friends. This is a trait that many geniuses share, a tendency towards perfectionism. They have a force inside them that pushes them to give their absolute best in everything they do, often doing more than anyone else would. But keep in mind that this doesn't mean they're overly competitive or arrogant, they're simply committed to achieving their personal best. 3. You're very sensitive. Imagine sitting in a quiet room. You can hear the faintest hum of the air conditioning, the subtle rustling of leaves outside, or even the distant murmurs of conversation. While others may not notice, these small sounds seem loud and clear to you. Even more, this heightened sensitivity is not just in your hearing. It includes a wide range of experiences. Sounds familiar? Well, being highly sensitive is often a trait of genius. You perceive the world in greater detail and depth, picking up on small things that others might miss. This sensitivity usually manifests in emotional, sensory, and intellectual parts of your life. That's what makes you more empathetic, observant, and perceptive. 4. You are a night owl. It's not uncommon to find geniuses staying up late into the night, immersed in their thoughts or work. This isn't a coincidence. Believe it or not, research has shown a relationship between high intelligence and being a night owl. This demonstrates that people with higher IQs are more likely to be nocturnal, preferring the peace and quiet of the night to engage in thoughtful activities. It can be either writing a novel, solving complex equations, or simply thinking about life's mysteries. In either case, the stillness of the night often serves as the perfect background for a genius to thrive. So, if you're often wide awake when everyone else is asleep, don't worry. You're in good company with some of history's greatest minds who also preferred the tranquility of the night. It might just be another subtle sign of your hidden genius. 5. You feel misunderstood. Have you ever voiced an idea so innovative, so outside the box, that it was met with blank stares or dismissive nods? Potential geniuses often think in ways that are not just unconventional, but leap years ahead of the current conversation. This forward thinking can lead to feelings of isolation and the sense that you are misunderstood by those around you. You might have a hard time trying to explain your thoughts in a simple way, which can cause misinterpretations and confusion. This can be frustrating, right? Because it makes you feel like you are speaking a different language. The irony is, being misunderstood can be a subtle sign of genius. It means that your thinking is unique, challenging the status quo and pushing boundaries. Yes, it's not easy, but it's often the misunderstood ideas that eventually lead to groundbreaking innovations and changes. 6. You need mental stimulation. For someone with a potentially genius mind, mental stimulation is as essential as air. You find yourself constantly seeking out new challenges and experiences to keep your mind engaged. It's not just a preference, it's a need. Without regular stimulation, you might feel restless or unfulfilled. Consider this. You find yourself diving into complex books, documentaries, or podcasts that challenge your understanding of the world. You're drawn to puzzles, brain teasers, or strategy-based games. Engaging in spirited debates or intellectual discussions is your idea of a perfect evening. You're continuously learning new skills. Sounds like you? This thirst for knowledge and mental engagement is a classic trait of a genius. This shows that you've developed your own mental journey, exploring new territories of thought and understanding. 7. You're obsessed with details. Do you ever catch yourself getting lost in the little parts of a concept or a task, where every small element seems to hold its own universe of possibilities and meanings? This obsession with details is more than just a preference, it's a lens through which you view the world, often indicative of a genius mind. Perhaps you're the one who notices the slight change in a friend's mood when others don't. Or you might find yourself thinking over the small pieces of a mechanical device, a piece of art, or a complex theory. In both cases, instead of just noticing these details, you have the urge to study them and understand them, to be able to connect them to a larger picture. Unfortunately, this intense focus on the smaller things can sometimes lead to frustration. However, it's precisely this deep dive into the tiny things that allows for a better understanding and often leads to innovative thinking. 8. You're adaptable. Geniuses are not just known for their intellectual power, but also for their ability to adapt to new situations and challenges. This adaptability stems from their ability to think quickly, learn rapidly, and apply their knowledge in different ways. According to studies, individuals with higher IQs are better at adapting to new environments, solving unfamiliar problems, and learning from experience. This adaptability extends beyond just intellectual pursuits. It can be either moving to a new city, taking up a new hobby, or embracing a new way of thinking. If you're a true genius, chances are that in these situations, you'll be comfortable with change and thrive on the opportunities it brings. 9. You have a strong sense of justice. Finally, let me ask you a question. Is there a fierce fire of fairness that burns within you? A strong desire to see justice prevail in every aspect of life? I'm asking this because this powerful sense of right and wrong, of justice and injustice, is not just a moral compass. It's the mark of a genius mind that seeks balance in the world. Your sense of justice often manifests in a deep empathy for others, understanding of ethical principles, and an unwavering commitment to stand up for what you believe is right. You're not one to shy away from defending the underdog or speaking out against inequity and injustice. This trait goes beyond a simple opinion. It's a part of who you are. This strong sense of justice often leads you into roles where you can produce change, whether it's through your career, activism, or everyday situations. In essence, you are driven by the belief that the world can be a better place, and you have a role to play in that transformation. Beyond the 9 signs we've discussed, there's another crucial aspect that often accompanies true genius: resilience in the face of adversity. Geniuses throughout history have not only been marked by their extraordinary abilities, but also by their strong resilience. This resilience is perhaps one of the most defining characteristics of a genius. As we wrap up this fascinating journey into the subtle signs that might indicate you're a genius, remember to reflect on these traits within yourself. If you found yourself nodding along, you might just be part of the extraordinary group of minds that see the world differently. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to The Secret Psychology Society for more intriguing insights into the human psyche. Hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest content, and share your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Until next time, keep exploring the depths of your mind and the wonders it holds. Farewell, fellow geniuses.